welcome back to another episode of Art Survival Evolved. Today, as you can probably see, you're seeing my mod list. And this is all the mods I have downloaded. But today we're going to talk about the ones that do the least amount of game breakingness to it. These are my favorite mods basically at this point that don't break the game. And I'll explain some of the other ones along the way. But these are the ones that don't break the game. And they have been very helpful, like nice little fixes or additions to the game that make the game better. Is it a top five? I don't know. I really have to go through and pick this out before I can say whether or not it's a top five. If you start seeing numbers, well, helper. This was a really cool mod right here. This one doesn't, in my opinion, break the game. It is probably one of the best mods you can get. Yes, Arch has its own death helper at this point where you can go ahead and you can open up your own. It just drops a beam of light down, but you can see the pluses on the screen. The pluses, when you press that button, will make the video, will make it identify the direction your body is in. Maybe you died, but you have no idea where you died, or you think you know where you died, and when you get to where you thought you died, well, you're nowhere near it. Well, this would point you in the direction, and that way you would at least kind of have a compass to get there. Didn't mean you were going to get there and get it, but you had the chance. Now, sometimes if you would fly over your item cache once you found it, let's say it was deep in piranha infested water, you could be on your animal or you could dismount maybe on the back of a Quetzal, press the button again for the item, the little item thing that looks like your implant, and it would pull the items directly from below in that infested water uh, to your inventory or maybe to the Quetzal if you were mounted to the Quetzal or whatever dinosaur you were or mount you were on. Well, this mod, that was about the furthest it went to breaking the game, and I never felt it too entirely broke the game because sometimes it was just too bad and you would rush to get your stuff back because there's a timer. And isn't the game already broken if you have a timer to get your cash back? Shouldn't anybody be able to get your cash? If you were to lose your stuff doesn't disappear in real life. And so I felt this mod didn't really break the game so much as it helped you get your stuff back. If you could get over top of it, you had to be vertically aligned with it. And it was also done in case you fell through the map, the mod would go ahead and pull the stuff up. All right, so this is another mod that has worked its way into my heart, and this is the randomly colored dinos. I don't believe it really works on aberration dinos. It's supposed to work on all dinos. I probably need to bug the guy, see if the stuff works in aberration. We can even go to the comments, but this worked really well. You can see how that ink is all pretty colored and stuff. You can flip through all different colors. You could wind up with a Spino that was all black with a purple sail or something like that. Some really cool stuff happens with the randomly colored dinos. All these dinos come out these random colors. They can look really cool. So basically, this one right here would just give your dinos some random color. Blue Argents. I mean, how nice is that? Spino or Aloes that don't have the same color. Your Jerboas can be cute. Your snakes can wind up blue. Carnos. I mean, it colored dinos. That's what it did. Dragons. Beautiful dragons. A fire wyvern could be solid blue. It looks like it's a lightning wyvern. And when you fly up to it, you find out, oh crap, it's a fire wyvern. It kind of spread that out so at a distance, so you really had to spyglass your wyverns before you walked in somewhere before and thought, oh, I'm safe. Well, maybe not. But this mod really just, altogether, it was really small, 0.120 megabytes. We didn't put it on aberration because we didn't want to change the colors of the dinos before we at least get to see them. Now, I do have it on the island server, and I don't believe it works with the aberration dinos because the Carquino, I spawned several of them in on the island server, and they didn't get any random color mutations. I say mutations, but they're not mutations, they're just randomly colored skin. So it doesn't even affect, this doesn't affect breeding or anything because you have different colors. So they didn't have any random colors, and so I have a feeling aberration dinos don't work with it. I'll have to look into it a little more and see what I have to do to fix it. But I would love to get it onto the other server because this takes absolutely no time at all. Alright, so this mod is another one of my favorite mods, Break Yourself. I was going to put it at top 1, but I decided this is not, it's not a mod that really does much other than allows you to dance. Like, legitimately, you can see you're dancing here. Imagine sniping somebody, and after you get that headshot, especially if you're playing on a RP server or something like that, where you can just kind of shoot somebody maybe, and they're not like it doesn't the server doesn't have that aggressive nature where you have time to goof off a little bit. Like right after you shoot it, everybody else, like all the civilians, spyglass up and sees you just dancing up there like this. I mean, what? How bad would that hurt? I mean, that would be awesome to be able to sit there and watch somebody just start dancing and after they shoot somebody. And wouldn't that be awesome to dance in front of everybody after you made the longest headshot ever? So that's my thoughts on that. It would be so cool to do that. I have not gotten to do a headshot like that and just start dancing. This mod is a lot larger than others. 117 megabytes. It does take a little bit to load, but it's not that bad. Well, we're gonna just shut that off. All right, so here's the next mod right here. Wild Tame. Oh, wait, no, Wild Tame. No, Super Spyglass. Oh my god. This mod is probably a little game breaking if you think about it, but in my opinion, it's not game breaking at all. When you take the mod and if all you do with the mod is use it to spyglass things out, like try and identify the 150, should I tame this thing or not, looking for the scale of the points. I mean, it's like a refined version. Like the spyglass needed this. It's trying to identify the weaknesses of the dinosaur, the strengths of the dinosaur. In real life, if you look at a dinosaur, you can tell, well, this guy looks sickly. He doesn't look like he has much to him. So why should I tame him? Instead of just trying to knock him out from a distance and then come up to him and, oh, well, this guy had bad stats. From a distance, you can say, well, this guy, he looks like he's a runner. He's got good leg muscles. Okay. Well, unfortunately, in Ark, every dinosaur starts with 100% movement speed, so that doesn't mean much, right? Yeah, well, it's okay. But you can also see, oh my god, this Rex has a powerful bite. Oh, look at this. He looks like he's got a strong back. He looks like he can hold a lot. Like he'd be a good pack mule. Or he's a fatty, and he's got over 8 million food. I don't know if I want to tame this guy.
So I don't want to tame him. But I really would suggest this mod. It solves a lot of problems, makes things a lot easier in some cases, and really doesn't break anything.
Alright guys, for the number one on the list here, it is the ultimate remote. This remote can be crafted in your inventory. It has a loud feature if you try and press it normally, and we're going to mute it for you. So, it beeps really, really loud, and we don't like that. So we hit Control M, it no longer beeps, and we can open and close the door. This remote is my favorite remote. It came out, I think, before S Plus had auto opening and closing doors. And this means basically you can open doors from a distance, turn off generators, turn on elevators, turn off turrets. Any of that stuff can be shot at from range, provided it's within range, because Ark has that limited like range deal that it does. But you could be running, you could open the door before you got there, and then spin around as you're going through. You don't even have to stop necessarily and close the door. You could have things on your tail, and next thing you know, well, they're not going to get you, right? Well, here's another option. Let's say you're running from those things again, and oh my god, they're gonna get me, they're gonna get me. I didn't time that right. Door's closed. Well, didn't time that right. Let's try that again. Okay, let's say I'm running. Oh god, they're gonna eat me. And just as I slip through, the door's closed behind me, and guess what? I'm safe. So yeah, you can do that. Basically, it just allows you to auto on and off open your door. It works really well. I had a little trouble with some of the older hatch frames. I think they've updated it since then to work with those hatch frames, but I'm not 100% sure. Hatch frames were a little kind of touchy whether or not they worked on it, but they should work. When it comes to using it with S Plus stuff, the auto open and close feature, it treats it as if you open the door from back here. This is where it treats it. If you don't walk from this step, the door will never close. But if you, let's say you start running, the door might actually even close as you're making your way there. It kind of measures the distance from where you were at when you open the door with the remote versus opening the door from the door itself, and then you got pushed away slightly, so now you're pushed out to here or something like that, and the door closes. Other than that, what else does this? Why else would you want this remote? Well, basically, what it can do is if you're on top of one of those large mounts that whenever you jump off, you hurt yourself, like Brontos, Rexes, and Gigas. Basically, you don't have to get off the animal. This works right on the mount. We'll see if we can get on this one. This should be force tame. Yeah. Now, at one time, you could get a Rex through a dino door like this, but you'd have to get off in order to open and close the door. Or even with birds, for that matter. Yeah, you can't get through the door anymore, at least not the wooden one. You used to be able to get through, can't anymore. But, let's say you were on a bird or anything, you know how hard it was to walk up to the door and just close it. Let's say we can even close this door without dismounting. Alright. See, look at that, dismounted. I was looking at the door. Let's look at the door. Dismount. All kinds of trouble. 10 forms of trouble. But, on the dyno. Does it not work with... Why wasn't it working a minute? Okay, it works. I don't know why I was having trouble, but it works. There you go, look at that. Timer on. And I can just run on through. And then guess what? Because the timer's on, the door closed on its own, I was able to continue on my way. Not only that, if I happened to forgot the door was open, all I gotta do is just kind of look back for half a second and then, well, that's not working. All I'd have to do is then say I'm running, oh god, I left the door open. Closed. And it's over, it's done. Don't have to worry about the door coming, you don't even have to worry about the door that much, having to get off and go close the door, which means basically more time for you, a little more safety for you, and that means you're not getting eaten and your Rex is not left outside. Nothing gets inside when you leave, hopefully. Unless they slipped in the moment you left. So that's kind of where that one lies on the remote. The remote's really cheap. It takes 10 metal and 10 cementing paste. Oh no, 10 metal and 10 electronics. And remote. We're just going to type here. Remote. 10 ingots, or 5 ingots and 10 electronics. Not too bad, not too shabby at all. It only requires you to be level 25, so you at least have some basic. And even then, you're gonna know this skill a long time ago, because to even learn electronics, you have to be like way higher. So, not like as if you're gonna come up to this skill and like, I don't know how to learn this, and I've learned this, yay, but you still.
Alright guys, so I hope you learned something today. Maybe you got turned onto a cool mod, like maybe the dance mod, or maybe the ultimate remote, which really I don't think gets enough attention. But anyway, I just hope you kind of caught one of these mods, like, ooh, this is neat and interesting. I hope you like it. Hope you like the video. But that's going to be it for this one. So you guys take care, and I'll catch you next time.